On a cool, crisp day, rival warlords clashed for regional dominance along the Yangtze. Yet, this seemingly routine battle was about to take an unexpected turn. In the midst of this river skirmish, something new was about to be unleashed. And, though the battle itself would fade into history, its impact would live on and warfare would never be the same. Hello, and welcome to Impactful Moments, where we explore some of the most, you guessed it, impactful moments in human history. If history is your thing, or you simply enjoy learning new topics, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us to continue creating captivating, impactful historical content. In this video, we will explore the Battle of Langshan Jiang, a virtually unknown battle that changed the face of war forever. China had experienced this before. A prosperous golden age would experience a series of rebellions that would ultimately weaken the government's centralized authority. This pattern played out with both the Han and Tang dynasties, each ultimately ceding control to the very warlords they once commanded. In the late 9th century, one such rebellion accelerated the Tang dynasty's demise. In 874, a wealthy salt trader named Huang Chao raised an army in response to prolonged droughts and heavy taxation. The government, having largely ignored the suffering of its citizens, now faced a rebellion it was ill-prepared to handle. For 10 years, Huang Chao's forces raged across China, even sacking the Tang capital of Chang'an. Desperate to suppress the uprising, the Tang court granted additional power and resources to regional warlords who were ultimately able to crush the rebellion. Among these warlords were Yang who would later establish the state of Wu, and Qianlu, the future founder of Wu Yu. But by empowering these military leaders, the Tang had effectively sealed its own fate. As the dynasty's authority crumbled, these newly empowered warlords maneuvered for dominance. Skirmishes broke out between rival factions, each anticipating the inevitable collapse of the imperial rule. That collapse finally came in 907, when the last Tang emperor, Ai, was overthrown by the warlord Zhu Wen, and these local conflicts escalated. Zhu Wen declared himself emperor of the later Liang dynasty, but his claim was not universally recognized. Some, like Qianlu of Wu Yu, pledged allegiance to him. Others, like Yang Jingmi of Wu, rejected his rule entirely. By 919, tensions between the two factions had reached a boiling point. The later Liang emperor, Zhu Zhen, ordered Qianlu to launch attacks on Wu, forcing the two rival states into direct confrontation. Qianlu sent his son and military governor, Qian Chuangwan, to lead the assault. Gathering 500 ships, Qian's fleet sailed to meet Wu commander Ping Yangzhang, who had assembled a similarly sized force. What followed was a battle that would ultimately have far-reaching consequences, not because of its political ramifications, but because of an innovation that would change the nature of warfare itself. On the eve of the battle, Qian Chuangwan devised a strategy to lure the enemy into a trap. His fleet would initially feign retreat, drawing the Wu ships forward. Then, when the wind shifted, his forces would turn and strike. But this was not the only advantage Qian's men held. They carried with them an arsenal of unconventional weapons, buckets of lime, dried beans, and, most significantly, a weapon known only as burning oil. The next day, the battle unfolded as planned. As the Wu fleet advanced with the wind at their backs, Qian's forces pulled away, drawing them deeper into open water. When the wind shifted, the Wu Yu ships turned and launched their attack. Lime was thrown into the air, carried by the wind into the eyes of the Wu sailors. The dried beans were thrown onto their decks, making them treacherously slick, causing men to slip and fall in the chaos. Then came the fire. The Wu Yu forces launched their burning oil through flamethrowers, setting the enemy fleet ablaze. Within moments, the Wu armada was in disarray. Pen Yangzhang was killed, 7,000 of his men were taken prisoner, and over 400 ships were destroyed. The Yangtze ran red with blood, and Wu Yu had won the day. In the aftermath of the battle, Wu forces successfully repelled a follow-up attack on the Cheng prefecture, leading to a peace settlement that lasted over 2 decades. However, if we're being entirely honest, the societal impact of this battle is not what makes it so impactful. Unlike other topics I've covered, this moment wasn't chosen for its political consequences, nor for its long-term effects on the balance of power in the surrounding area. While the strategic ingenuity of Wu Yu's tactics is fascinating, that is not why we are here. The reason lies ahead. The Battle of Langshan Jiang, though largely unknown in global history, likely signifies a pivotal moment in the evolution of warfare. Among the many innovative tactics employed by the Wu Yu forces, one in particular stands out: the account of their use of quote-unquote burning oil to set enemy ships ablaze. Roughly 150 years after the battle, an 11th century Chinese military text, the Wu Jing Zhangyao, documented formulas for a mixture of potassium nitrate, also known as saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal, a compound known today as gunpowder. It described the use of this quote-unquote fire drug as an ignition source for military flamethrowers. While the 919 battle account of Langshan Jiang does not explicitly confirm the use of gunpowder, based on the descriptions and the context of the Wu Jing Zhangyao, many historians regard it as the first recorded instance of its application in warfare. Gunpowder itself had been discovered near the end of the Tang Dynasty in the 9th century, originally as a byproduct of alchemists searching for the elixir of immortality. Its ultimate use, however, was obviously quite different. Some historians speculate that gunpowder may have been used in fire arrows a decade before Langshan Jiang, but according to many, Langshan Jiang remains the earliest documented case of its use in combat. Though it would be centuries before artillery truly reshaped battlefields, the introduction of gunpowder at Langshan Jiang had let the cat out of the bag, and warfare would never be the same. I hope you enjoyed this video and found this period in history both informative and enlightening. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below, and I hope you can join us for another video. Thanks for watching.